the OnePlus 7T Pro. Yes, definitely not the best name in a smartphone, but hey, I've seen way worse. But leaving the name aside, the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus is the best Android phone of 2019. In terms of the amount of features that you get with that phone, there's absolutely no denying that. And we did a full review after my 2+ months of use here, so feel free to check that video out if you want to learn more about the best Android smartphone of 2019. However, the OnePlus 7T Pro is the best Android phone of 2019 in terms of value, in my opinion, because you get pretty much everything you could ask for in a phone at a much lower price than, for example, the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus costs, or even the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So yeah, get those snacks and those drinks ready, and here's my full in-depth review with my final thoughts on the OnePlus 7T Pro, the best overall value smartphone of 2019. If you're looking for some great looking skins at affordable prices for your brand new OnePlus 7T Pro or any other smartphone for that matter, then do check out Easy Skins, our sponsor for this video. I do think that this black camo and green camo skins look amazing on the new OnePlus 7T Pro, especially with the brand new 3D texture that adds grip to the slippery feel that your phone previously had. But Easy Skins literally offer hundreds of designs to choose from for all the major smartphone brands, so whether you have an iPhone, or a Samsung, or a Pixel, or even a OnePlus, Easy Skins has you covered. Check out Easy Skins using the link below. Okay, so most of you watching this video are probably familiar as to who OnePlus is as a company and what their vision stands for. Now, in case you are not, they're basically trying to make flagship smartphones at affordable prices. Now, they did have to cut some corners in order to achieve that, which I'll talk about in this review. And I gotta say, the OnePlus 7T Pro pretty much takes the crown in terms of the least amount of changes from a previous generation that I've ever seen in any smartphone, I think. Yeah, the OnePlus 7T Pro, by the way, which came out in October, so just, a month and a few days ago, is almost an identical copy of the OnePlus 7 Pro that came back in May of this year. But this is still an incredible smartphone in pretty much every single way, and it's now even better than the 7 Pro. So here is everything in terms of everything of this phone. So starting off with the design, the 7T Pro is still one of the only phones in 2019 that does not have a notch or even a camera cutout at all. All we get is a full screen display with zero interruptions for you when you're watching your content, which is just incredible. Now, the screen bezels, or should I say the frame of the phone, is indeed thicker than on other phones such as the iPhone 11 Pro Max or the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. But considering that you don't get any cutouts at all in the display itself, I'm very happy with this tiny trade-off. And I don't know about you guys, but the 7T Pro looks to me like a phone that came from the future, like a 2020 phone or even 2021 smartphone where, smartphones are just a full screen display. It simply looks incredible, and I'm absolutely in love with the design of this phone. The back is made out of glass, but it does have this frosted glass texture, so same as the iPhone 11 Pros or the Google Pixel 4, so it's this very soft glass that doesn't catch any fingerprints at all. Another plus for the OnePlus. Now, unlike the OnePlus 7 Pro, which came in mirror gray, almond, and nebula blue, the OnePlus 7T Pro only comes in one single color, which is haze blue, and then there's also a different edition, the McLaren edition, which has this very unique look on its back, which I do like a lot, but if you're looking for just the standard black, or even the previous gold, then you're out of luck. And I have to say, I actually do prefer the old nebula blue color over the 7T's haze blue, since it's a bit darker and feels a bit more mature than the haze blue, to me at least. Then the sides are made out of polished aluminum, so they look very premium. But something that I don't like about a 7T Pro's design is just how bulky and big it feels in the hand. At the 8.8mm thick, the 7T Pro is noticeably thicker than the 7.9mm of thickness that the Note 10 Plus has, and also noticeably thicker than the 8.1mm that the iPhone 11 Pro Max has, so yeah, this is a pretty chunky phone. Luckily, the sides do curve, so it doesn't feel that fat, but still, holding this in my hand, it does feel quite thick. And considering that the display is also quite large, at 6.67 inches, the 7T Pro is definitely not a phone that you can easily use with one hand, so definitely do keep that in mind. Finally, even though the 7 Pro and the 7T Pro basically look identical, aside from, the different blue color, there is one visual identifier, and that is the fact that the laser autofocus is now outside of the camera module on the 7T Pro versus inside of the camera module like on the 7 Pro. Also, the ring surrounding the camera module is now shinier, and the megapixel count is now gone. But yeah, other than that, these phones, design-wise, they're identical. Okay, moving on to the display, it's good. Overall, I would say that this is the best display on a smartphone, but it doesn't really nail, every single display category, and you'll see why in a second. So the 7T Pro has the exact same display as the 7 Pro did, so that's a 6.67-inch Samsung-made panel, which is also an OLED/AMOLED panel, with a resolution of 3120 by 1440, which actually translates to a PPI of 516. So it's a very, very sharp display. The black levels are perfect, the colors pop, it's an amazing display. It also features a DCI-P3 color gamut with 100% coverage, so yeah, if you're into photo or video editing on the go, this is an amazing choice for that. And if you're into consuming media, the 7T Pro, same as the 7 Pro, does support HDR10+ content, so it's perfect for that as well. And since there is no notch or any display cutout at all on this, I actually crown the OnePlus 7T Pro the best phone for watching and viewing content. It's amazing for YouTube, for Netflix, for reading news articles, it's pretty much great for everything. But wait, there's more. The 7T Pro, same as the 7 Pro before it, comes with a 90Hz refresh rate panel, meaning that everything you do on this phone is 50% more fluid than on any other smartphone on the market right now that comes with a standard 60Hz panel. Putting the 7T Pro next to the Note 10 Plus or even the iPhone 11 Pro Max, you can see how much smoother the animations and the UI really is. Then games can also run at a much higher frame rate, which I mean they already do on the other phones as well, but what I mean here is that you can actually see the higher frame rates on the OnePlus 7T Pro. So you can see up to 90 frames per second versus 60 frames per second on, any other phones with a 60Hz display. So the display on the 7T Pro seems like the best display ever on a smartphone, and so far, it really is. But you see, there's one complaint that I have, which might be a big issue for some users, and that is the brightness. So we've actually used a professional color and brightness measuring tool, and on a pure white full screen window, the OnePlus 7T Pro only achieved the maximum brightness of 457 nits, which, while still higher than the Pixel 4 XL's 443 nits, it was significantly lower than the 723 nits on the Note 10 Plus or the 785 nits on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Moving on to the camera, this is where it gets really interesting. Because you see, when I said that OnePlus had to make some trade-offs to keep the price low, well, the camera was actually the biggest trade-off in pretty much every single previous OnePlus phone. But then the OnePlus 7 Pro came out in May, and that was OnePlus's first premium smartphone, so to say. It had many innovative features, from the design, to the pop-up front camera module, to the 90Hz refresh rate display, and it also had a triple lens camera module, which was supposed to be very, very good. And it was, okay. It was okay. It was better than the OnePlus 7's camera, but still nothing close when it comes to an iPhone's camera or a Samsung Galaxy S or a Note or even a Google Pixel. It was just a better mid-range camera, and that was it. And the 7T Pro has the exact same camera for the most part as the 7 Pro did a few months ago. So does this mean that the camera is bad? Well, you'll be surprised actually to hear this, but at first when the OnePlus 7 Pro launched back in May, the camera was mediocre. But in the past few months, OnePlus released so many updates, like they slammed us with updates and improvements to their camera app, to the point where now, in our latest blind camera comparison between the OnePlus 7T Pro, the Pixel 4 XL, the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, the OnePlus 7T Pro actually got the second place. After the iPhone 11 Pro Max, it also got the same score as the Pixel 4, and yes, an even higher score than the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And in a lot of cases, it even had the best night mode out of all 4 phones. Stabilization was great, HDR was very good, so OnePlus, good job, good job. You've managed to turn a mid-range camera, hardware at least, into pretty much a flagship level experience, and I'm very, very surprised. The pop-up front camera module was very good as well, with perfect exposure, a wide viewing angle, and even the low light shots coming from the front camera were very good, and my favorites out of all these 4 phones in the blind camera test. So yeah, pretty good OnePlus. So what's the catch? Well, you see, the front camera can only do 1080p video at 30 frames per second, compared to 4K 30 on the S10 and Note 10, or even 4K 60 on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So yeah, there's that. Also, the wide-angle lens isn't as wide as on the iPhone or the Note, and it's also fairly soft and pretty bad in low light. But yeah, aside from that, it's very, very good, especially after the recent software updates. Also, the 7T Pro does have a macro mode now, and this is actually a hardware feature, where a mechanism inside the phone adjusts the focus motor to focus up close. And you can see how much of a difference this really makes. Like, take a look at how sharp the coin is on the 7T Pro compared to all the other phones which don't have a macro mode. So that's pretty awesome, and this is something that we don't really have, or we didn't have on the 7 Pro before. But yeah, definitely do check out our ultimate blind camera comparison for a truly detailed look at everything you need to know in terms of the OnePlus 7T Pro's camera. Okay, now when it comes to the performance, if you're not yet convinced on getting the 7T Pro, well, this is the section that will definitely convince you. The 7T Pro is by far the fastest and also the most fluid phone that I've ever used. Yes, faster than the iPhone 11 Pro Max, faster than the Note 10 Plus, faster than the Pixel 4 XL, or anything else. So what exactly do I mean by this? Well, spec-wise, we get a Snapdragon 855 Plus processor, which is actually an overclocked version of the 855 that we got in the 7 Pro a few months before. Now the GPU is about 15% faster than on the 855, and the CPU is about 5 to 8% faster. So you should see some extra frames per second in games, but yeah, nothing major. Now, RAM-wise, this is where it gets really interesting, because you see the OnePlus 7 Pro came in 6GB, 8GB, and 12GB options. However, the 7T Pro only comes in 8GB. And this is also a reason why the price has actually gone up by quite a bit now. However, if you do get the new McLaren edition of the 7T Pro, that's the one that comes with 12GB of RAM. But yeah, the reason why this phone feels so fast is because of that 90Hz refresh rate display, because of that UFS 3.0 storage, which by the way, the S10 does not have, the Pixel 4 does not have, the Note 10 Plus does have, but the Note 10 Plus does not have a 90Hz refresh rate display. Same goes for the iPhone, which has NVMe flash storage, but no 90Hz. So there you go, this is why the 7T Pro just flies through everything. And OnePlus also has their Oxygen OS skin, which is an extremely light skin. Pretty much stock Android with just a few nice modifications, such as the ability to change the background color of your UI, the accent color of your buttons. You can also reorder the menu buttons as well, and things such as that give you so much more customization options when compared to the Pixel 4, for example. Also, OnePlus is the second manufacturer right after Google in terms of releasing software updates. And it's not just that they're really fast with updates, but they're also great at supporting their older devices for a really long time. Like, for example, even the OnePlus 3 that came out in 2016, 3 years ago, even that is still receiving updates as of November 2019 from OnePlus, which is amazing. And the OnePlus 5 and the 5T, which came out in 2017, will both be receiving an update to Android 10 in Q2 2020. So yeah, great performance, day one updates, and years of software support. I'm pretty happy with it so far, you can probably tell. So now that the camera has actually been fixed, the main reason why you might consider not getting this phone are the special features, or the lack thereof, so to say. The 7T Pro still lacks wireless charging, which, I mean, come on, OnePlus. We are in 2019 now, and pretty much everyone else does have wireless charging today. OnePlus did say that the reason why they don't add wireless charging is because, it's not as fast as wired charging, which is true, but yeah, you're wrong, OnePlus. The Note 10 Plus, for example, supports up to 15 watts wireless charging, which is extremely fast, by the way, and fun fact, that is 3 times faster than a stock 5-watt charger that Apple used to supply before the iPhone 11 Pros. Also, there is no official IP water resistance rating or even dust rating. Now, OnePlus did add a rubber seal to unofficially add water resistance, but they haven't paid for the certification itself. Now, I have seen some cases where people actually submerged their OnePlus 7 Pro device in water and it survived. But then at the same time, I've also seen cases where it didn't survive and, it died. So yeah, considering that and the fact that we also have the pop-up camera module now on the front, which does increase or decrease how sealed your phone really is, I wouldn't submerge this in water in any way. Then the headphone jack is also gone now. The speakers are good, but not great. There's no microSD card slot, no crazy features such as an S Pen or anything like that. So yeah, it's not looking that great so far in terms of the features on the OnePlus 7T Pro. However, I do have two very positive features that I want to talk about. The first one being the in-display fingerprint reader. Just how fast it is. This is the fastest in-display fingerprint reader on any smartphone. It's crazy, crazy fast. And then the second feature is the fact that the OnePlus 7T Pro also has a haptic engine. So this is similar to the one that we have inside the iPhone 11 Pro Max, which brings haptics to the entire UI. And this is one of the best ones on any Android phone, right on par with the Note 10 Plus and the Pixel 4 XL. Okay, so having said all of this, how is the battery life on this phone? It's okay. So the 70 Pro comes with a 4085 mAh battery, which is slightly larger than the 4000 mAh battery that we got on the OnePlus 7 Pro. However, because of that large 6.67-inch display that's also 90 Hz, the battery lasts noticeably less than on phones such as the Note 10 Plus, the iPhone 11 Pro Max, or even the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Now, you can indeed switch to a 60 Hz mode on the display, which will improve the battery life, but considering that 90 Hz is literally one of the main reasons to get this phone, I really don't think that that trade-off is worth it. And the main reason for that being how fast this phone charges. So you get a 30-watt charger inside the box, which yes, is actually 6 times more powerful than what Apple used to ship until the iPhone 11 Pros. Now, in our fast charging speed test, the OnePlus 7T Pro managed to charge to 50% in just 24 minutes and up to 100% in just 1 hour and 7 minutes. Yeah, insanely fast for a 4000 mAh battery. And this is, by the way, even slightly faster than on the OnePlus 7 Pro from, just a few months ago. However, what I don't like about this is that, fun fact, you have to use the official OnePlus charger to get that really fast charging, or any fast charging. If you use a USB Type-C charger like, MacBook charger or a Samsung charger or any other, smartphone charger or USB-C charger, you would not get USB Type-C fast charging speeds. Yeah, so you need to use a stock charger, which is a bit inconvenient, I would say. Losing my voice again. And also, I don't like the fact that we do not have wireless charging. So those are my two main complaints regarding the battery. And finally, value. Is the OnePlus 7T Pro worth it? Well, the OnePlus One used to cost $300 back in 2014. The OnePlus 7T Pro now costs £700 or $910 if you convert that into US dollars, because interesting enough, you cannot buy this in the US. By the way, it's not available in the US. So yes, the 7T Pro is 3 times more expensive than what the first OnePlus phone used to cost. However, it's still cheaper than the Note 10 Plus, which costs £1,000 in the UK or £1,150 that the iPhone 11 Pro Max costs. And I mean, for the most part, you actually do get the same experience, just with no wireless charging, no official water resist dust rating, and a slightly worse camera than, those flagship smartphones. But considering that you do get an even faster performance and usability, a full screen display, a pop-up camera module, which is, a really cool party trick, I do think that a OnePlus 7T Pro is worth it so much more than any of the competition. The only exception being the non-Pro OnePlus 7T, which actually offers the exact same specs, the exact same camera, just a slightly older design, which, still looks great to be honest, but that one starts at £550 in the UK compared to £700. So I do think that that phone is actually worth it even more than the OnePlus 7T Pro is. But yeah, let me know in the comments your thoughts on this phone. I think it's honestly amazing. If you want to purchase it, then feel free to, and please use the links below because we do get a small commission from, for example, Amazon. We're an Amazon affiliate, so you don't have to pay anything, but Amazon gives us a small percentage of their sales. So that's cool. So if you want to support the channel, please consider using the links below. But yeah, other than that, this is honestly an amazing phone. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments again, what do you guys think about this? And please subscribe notifications if you want to see more in-depth tech videos and reviews such as this one, hopefully was. So thank you for watching. I'm Daniel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH signing out. Cheers.